Picture this. You're scrolling through social media at 2 a.m., looking at someone's vacation photos, their new car, their perfect relationship. Suddenly, your own life feels lacking. Sound familiar? Here's what nobody tells you. That feeling you just experienced, it's not real desire. It's manufactured wanting, and it's keeping you trapped in a cycle that's stealing your peace, your money, and most importantly, your authentic happiness. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to share with you an ancient method that will completely shift how you see desire, success, and what truly matters in life. This isn't just philosophy, this is practical wisdom that will save you years of chasing the wrong things. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to distinguish between what you truly want and what the world is telling you to want. Today, we're going to uncover the 3 layers of illusion that keep you stuck in endless wanting, discover the ancient mirror test that reveals your true priorities in under 60 seconds, and learn the powerful practice that monks use to find unshakable contentment, even in our modern chaotic world. But first, let me ask you something that might make you uncomfortable. When was the last time you bought something, posted something, or did something purely because you wanted to? Not because you saw it online, not because your friends had it, not because you thought it would make you look successful or happy. Take a moment, really think about it. If you're struggling to answer that question, you're not alone. We're living in what I call the age of borrowed desires. We've become so disconnected from our authentic selves that we've forgotten what we actually want versus what we think we should want. Let me tell you about Sarah. She was scrolling through Instagram one evening when she saw an influencer's post about their dream kitchen renovation. Marble countertops, custom cabinets, the works. Sarah looked around her own perfectly functional kitchen and suddenly felt ashamed. Over the next 2 years, she worked overtime, took on freelance projects, and even dipped into her emergency savings to create that exact same kitchen. The day the renovation was complete, Sarah stood in her new kitchen, took a photo for social media, and waited to feel the happiness she'd been chasing. But instead of joy, she felt exhausted. She realized she'd spent 2 years of her life and gone into debt for a kitchen that looked exactly like someone else's, someone she'd never even met. The most heartbreaking part? She rarely cooked. She was a takeout person who had built her dream around someone else's lifestyle. The truth is, most of us are living borrowed lives, chasing borrowed dreams, trying to fill a void with things that were never meant to fill it. And this isn't just about material possessions, it's about careers, relationships, lifestyles, even our daily habits. Let me share with you the 3 layers of illusion that keep us trapped in this cycle. Layer 1, the comparison trap. Social media has turned life into a highlight reel competition. We see someone's perfect moment and compare it to our everyday reality. But here's what's hidden. Every photo, every post, every story is curated. You're comparing your behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reel. Ancient wisdom tells us that comparison is the thief of joy. But in our digital age, it's become the thief of authenticity. We start wanting things not because they align with our values, but because they'll make us look good in the comparison game. Layer 2, the status symbol seduction. We've been conditioned to believe that our worth is measured by what we own, where we work, what we wear. But think about this. If you needed these things to be worthy, why were you born worthy of love and care before you owned anything? This layer runs deep because it taps into our primal need for belonging. We think, if I have this, I'll be accepted. If I achieve that, I'll be respected. But true belonging comes from self-acceptance, not external validation. Layer 3, the instant gratification illusion. We live in a world that promises quick fixes for deep problems. Want happiness? Buy this. Want success? Follow this 5-step program. Want peace? Download this app. But genuine fulfillment isn't instant, it's cultivated. It grows from the inside out, not the outside in. When we chase instant gratification, we're actually running away from the patient work of building a meaningful life. Now here's where it gets interesting. There's an ancient practice that cuts through all 3 layers of illusion in minutes. I call it the mirror test. This practice has been used for thousands of years, but it's more relevant today than ever. Here's how it works. Before making any decision, buying something, taking a job, starting a relationship, even posting on social media, ask yourself these 3 questions. Question 1, if no one would ever know about this choice, would I still make it? This cuts through the comparison trap and status seeking. If you wouldn't want it without an audience, it's probably not authentically yours. Question 2, will this bring me closer to or further from the person I want to become? Not the person society wants you to be, not the person your parents want you to be, but the person your deepest self knows you can become. This question connects your choices to your true growth. Question 3, am I choosing this from a place of lack or a place of wholeness? When we choose from lack, we're trying to fill a hole. When we choose from wholeness, we're expressing who we already are. The energy behind the choice matters more than the choice itself. Let me give you an example. Say you're considering buying an expensive watch. Run it through the mirror test. Would I want this if no one would see it? If the answer is no, you know it's about status, not genuine desire. Will this bring me closer to who I want to become? If your deeper goal is financial freedom, probably not. Am I choosing this from lack or wholeness? If you're buying it because you feel unsuccessful without it, that's lack talking. So how do we reconnect with our authentic desires? How do we distinguish between what we truly want and what we've been programmed to want? Practice 1, the silence practice. Every morning before checking your phone, before consuming any external input, spend 5 minutes in complete silence, no music, no podcasts, no distractions, just you and your thoughts. In this silence, ask yourself, what does my heart actually want today? Not what your schedule demands, not what others expect, but what your authentic self is calling for. You'll be amazed at how different these desires are from what fills your usual day. Practice 2, the gratitude reset. Before wanting something new, fully appreciate what you already have. This isn't just positive thinking, it's rewiring your relationship with desire itself. When you're grateful for what is, you desire from abundance, not scarcity. Your choices become expressions of joy rather than attempts to fix what's wrong with your life. Practice 3, the deathbed test. This might sound morbid, but it's incredibly clarifying. Imagine you're at the end of your life looking back. What would you regret not doing? What would you regret spending too much time on? This perspective cuts through trivial desires instantly. You're not going to regret not having the latest gadget, but you might regret not spending time with people you love or not pursuing work that meant something to you. Practice 4, the energy audit. Pay attention to how different desires make you feel. Authentic desires energize you even when they're challenging. Borrowed desires drain you even when they're easy. If thinking about a goal exhausts you, it's probably not yours. If it excites you despite the difficulty, it's worth exploring. When you start living from your authentic desires instead of borrowed ones, everything changes. Your spending aligns with your values, naturally creating financial peace. You stop trying to keep up with others because you're too busy keeping up with yourself. Your relationships deepen because you're showing up as who you really are, not who you think you should be. Authentic people attract authentic connections. Your work becomes more fulfilling because you're pursuing goals that matter to you, not goals that look impressive to others. Most importantly, you develop what ancient wisdom calls unshakable contentment, a peace that doesn't depend on external circumstances because it comes from alignment with your true self. But here's the paradox. When you stop chasing happiness, it finds you. When you stop trying to impress others, you become genuinely impressive. When you stop accumulating to feel worthy, you realize you were always worthy. This isn't about giving up ambition or living a small life. It's about making sure your ambitions are actually yours. It's about building a life so aligned with your values that success feels inevitable because you're finally moving in the direction your soul wants to go. So here's your challenge. For the next 7 days, before making any purchase, any commitment, any choice, run it through the mirror test. Ask those 3 questions, pay attention to what happens. You might discover that you want less than you thought, but you'll also discover that what you truly want is far more powerful and fulfilling than anything you've been chasing. Start with one small decision today. Instead of scrolling through social media when you have a free moment, sit in silence for 5 minutes and ask yourself what you actually want to do. Then do that instead. Remember, every authentic choice is a step toward authentic happiness. Every borrowed desire you release is space for real joy to enter. The path to a meaningful life isn't about wanting more, it's about wanting authentically. And that journey starts right now with your very next choice. If this resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, in a world full of borrowed desires, being authentically yourself is the most radical act of all. I'll be sharing more ancient wisdom that cuts through modern confusion, practical tools for finding peace in chaos, building unshakable confidence, and creating success that actually fulfills you. Until we meet again, remember, in a world full of borrowed desires, being authentically yourself isn't just radical, it's revolutionary. And the world needs your revolution.